Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the social science class. This is class 6, chapter number 4, Geography. The name of the chapter is Map, and today we are going to take our summary lecture. As chapter number 4, Map, we have already covered in lecture number 1 and 2. Today we are going to recapitulate all those topics, those we have done in lecture number 1 and 2. So let's see the topics. The topics that we have covered in lecture number 1 and 2 and we are going to recapitulate in today's lecture. They are map, atlas, types of map, cardinal points, compass, components of map, sketch and plan. So let's start with the topics. Map. A map is representation or drawing of the earth's surface or a part of it, drawn on a flat surface according to a scale. Means the map is the flat representation of the earth's surface. Or in simple language we can say the map is drawing of the earth's surface or any of its part that is drawn on flat surface. Here according to a scale is written. Whenever you see any of the map, you will see a scale made there in the left hand side corner at the bottom. That means the scale that shows what the area the scale is taken. As we discussed earlier also, scale means the ratio between the a distance that we have taken on the paper and the actual ground. So according to a scale, the map is drawn. Next is atlas. Collection of maps is called atlas, or you can say the book of maps is known as atlas. Now let's discuss again about the scale. Ratio between the distance on the paper and distance on the ground is defined as the scale. Means scale is ratio between the distance on the paper and distance on the ground. For example, 1 centimeter is equal to 5 kilometer. Here it means on the paper we are taking 1 centimeter and that 1 centimeter represents 5 kilometers of actual ground. Here it is explained in very simple way the scale given here. It means this distance on the paper between 2 points is 1 centimeter according to the scale. Distance on the ground is 5 kilometers. So 1 centimeter distance on the paper represents 5 kilometers on the ground. So this is the explanation of the scale given here. So I think you have got what is scale. Ratio between the distance on the paper and distance on the ground. That is scale. As we know that we can't represent the complete part or any of the area as it is on the paper. So for that we take scale. The next topic is types of map. There are 3 types of map. Physical map, political map, thematic map. Physical maps that shows the physical features. Political maps that show the different cities, towns, states with their boundaries. Thematic maps that gives the specific information about something. So let's discuss about all these 3. The political map, physical map, thematic map. Physical map. Physical map shows physical or natural features of earth like mountains, plateaus, plains, rivers, etc. So physical maps are the maps that shows the natural features of the earth. That is known as physical map. It is also known as relief map. It means the another name of physical map is relief map. So the maps those show the earth's physical features, they are known as physical maps. Example. Here in this example, two maps are shown. In first map, you can see the Himalayas, Chota Nagpur Plateau, the Ghats, desert, all these are natural features of the earth. So it is an example of physical map. In second map you can see there are different rivers shown of India. So this is again the example of physical map. So the maps those show physical features, they are considered as physical map. The next is second number, political map. Political map shows only cities, towns, states, countries with their boundaries. So the maps those show the cities, towns, villages, states, continents, countries with their boundaries are known as political map. For example, here in this picture, you can see that in Indian map, different states are shown with their boundaries. So this is the political map of India. On the another example you can take, like if we take the map of Haryana, and in that map different districts are shown with their boundaries. So again it will be the example of political map. So the political map, the map that shows villages, towns, cities, state, district, continents with their boundaries, they are known as political map. Next is thematic map. Thematic map shows specific information. For example, road map that will give us the specific information about roads only. Rainfall map, it will give us the information about rainfall of particular area. Maps showing distribution of forest, industries, and different type of industries or the parks. So that will again the example of thematic map. So the maps that show the specific or the special information about something, that is known as the thematic map. So these are the maps that give us the great information about something. Example. This example is of thematic map in which the Indian annual rainfall is shown. So this map gives us the specific information about the rainfall in India. And in this we can understand that in index different colors are used by which we come to know which area receives how much rainfall in a year. So this is thematic map. On this place if it is written the distribution of industries in India, so again it will be the example of thematic map. So the thematic maps are the maps those show special information about something, that is thematic map. Next is cardinal points. Cardinal points are basically the four main directions. So there are four main directions such as north, south, east and west. They are also known as cardinal points. So If anyone asks you what do you know about cardinal points are the four main directions: north, south, east and west. In between all four main directions, there are four intermediate directions. In between north and east, it is northeast. In between north and west, it is northwest. In between south and west, it is southwest, and likewise. Like in this diagram, you can see the blue color that shows the four main directions, and with red color, they are the intermediate directions. Northeast, that we represent by capital N or capital E. Southeast, SE, southwest, SW, northwest, NW. So these are the cardinal points and the intermediate directions. So let's move ahead for the next topic, that is compass. As we discussed about the directions. So what is compass? An instrument which is used to find out directions is known as compass. So compass is a device that is used to find the directions. And the main thing there in the compass, its needle always points towards north direction. Needle of the compass, it always points towards the north direction. And when we know the north direction, it is easy to find out the other directions. So that is all about compass. So move ahead for the next topic. Components of map. To understand a map, we must know about all these components. The components of map are distance, direction, and symbols. As in distance, we have learnt about the scale. We know that the complete part we can't show on the paper. If we have the map of any of the part, it is not possible to draw or to mention all the things there on the paper. For that we use scale. Direction, to find out any of the place, we must know the directions. Then symbols, as we can't draw the different buildings or different marks, different things there on the paper. To remove that problem, we use some symbols. So the components of map are distance, direction, symbols. First is distance. Maps are drawing. As we discussed that the map, that is drawing of the earth's surface, which reduce the entire world or a part of it to fit on sheet of paper. That is obviously correct, because we are not drawing the complete part on the paper, so it is reducing the world there on the paper. As we cannot take actual distance of the ground on the paper, that's why scales are used. As we already discussed that in scale, what do? That is the ratio between the distance on the paper and distance on the ground. So again the definition, it is for recapitulation, scale is the ratio between the actual distance on the ground and the distance shown on the map. That is scale. That reduce the world, entire world or the part of it to fit on the paper. Next is types of scale. As we discussed scale, so there are two types of scales, large scale and small scale. Now, what does large scale mean? Large scale is a scale that shows small areas with great detail. As if we take small area on a sheet of paper, we will be able to give more information, right? If we are taking large areas to show on the paper, definitely we will be having the less space, so less detail they will give. So this is the difference between large scale and small scale. Large scale show small area with more detail. For example, 1 centimeter is equal to 100 meter. And small scale that shows large areas with less detail. If we will be showing large areas or more areas on a sheet of paper, we will be able to give less information, or you can say information in brief only. For example, 1 centimeter is equal to 500 kilometers. In example, you can see. In first example, we are taking 1 centimeter to show 100 meters only. So we can give great detail there, more details. And in second example, 1 centimeter will show 500 kilometer. So definitely 1 centimeter, that is very less part. So it will give very less detail of that part. So this is all about the large scale and small scale. So large scale, they are more informative than the small scale. Then directions. We must know the direction to find out any of the place. So most of the map contain an arrow marked with letter capital N. Basically, whenever you see any of the map, there in the right hand corner on the top, the arrow mark you can see, and there the N, capital N is written. That denotes the north directions basically. This arrow shows north direction, and if we know north direction, we can easily find out the other directions as well. Like if north is there on the top, then south will be in the bottom. In our right hand side, east direction, and our left hand side, west direction. So these are the directions on the map. The next topic, that is symbols. It is not possible to draw actual shape and size of different features like road, temple, bridge, etc. Can we make all these things on the paper in the actual size? No, it is really not possible. So we use different colors, shapes, lines, etc. These are called symbols. The different things, different signs that we are using to represent different features, they are symbols. Basically, colors we use for natural features. Like for mountains, we use brown color. For water, we use blue color. For plateaus, we use yellow color. And uh, for water, as we already discussed, for water, blue color we use. And for plains, we use green color. So to show different physical features, we use different colors. Different shapes, lines are also used here. We will talk about some of the symbols also. Then conventional symbol. What does it mean? Symbols used in various maps all over the world. Means the same symbols are used all over the world in various maps. They are called conventional symbols. Now let's discuss about some conventional symbols. In first line, railway lines are given. The broad gauge, meter gauge and narrow gauge. There are three types of railway line. Two are shown there in first one, broad gauge, second is meter gauge, and third with the railway station. So these are the symbols for railway line. Roads, the symbols metalled road, then unmetalled road. For boundaries, different symbols. If international boundary means between two countries. The first one, state means between two states. Then district, between two districts. So these are the boundaries symbol. Then river, well, tank, canal, bridge, different symbols are given that we use. Different religious places, temple, church, mosque, chhatri, these symbols we use, as we can't make the same shape there on the paper. Post office PO, post and telegram office PTO, police station PS. So these are the different symbols, conventional symbols, those are used there in various maps. The next is importance of symbols. As we have done, the symbols, how much they are giving the different knowledge to us. So how these symbols are important. Symbols play an important role in guidance of any traveler. Suppose any of the stranger or traveler is going to the new place. So these symbols are really helpful. If the person is having map, so these symbols are really helpful to the traveler for his guidance. They also give us a lot of information in limited place. And these symbols are really informative because on the sheet of paper, they are given lot of information about different things. Even less educated people can understand the information given in map. With the help of symbols, the people, those are less educated, they are also able to understand the information given on the map. So these are the some of importance of symbols for reading a map. Next is sketch and plan. As we talked about map, we have already done the globe. Now sketch and plan. Sketch, drawing based on memory and spot observation. It is not drawn with the help of scale. In sketch, we do not use any of the scale. It is based on our memory. Suppose anyone asks you about something, like anyone is going to the police station and the person asks you where is the police station and you are telling him the way, drawing on the paper roughly, so that you will draw that you will go straight then left then right, likewise. So this is the sketch based on your memory. You are not using any of the scale there. So the drawing that is based on our memory, not based on any scale, that is sketch. Then next is plan. Drawing of small area on large scale, that is plan. Basically in plan we draw the small areas, and if small areas we are doing, so definitely we will be able to take large scale, like plan of a room, plan of garden, building, school, hospital, colony. So that at that time we are taking small areas, so we use their large scale. Drawing of small area on large scale, that is known as plan. So these are the topics in the chapter in which we covered with the map, what is map, then atlas, then scale in the map that we use, then we have done different types of map, physical map, political map, thematic map. Then we have done components of map, in which direction, distance and symbol. We have done different types of scales, large scale or small scale. And then we covered with some of the conventional symbols, and at last we have done sketch and plan. Now homework done. So the assignment that you will do, first question, fill in the blanks. The blue color is used for showing dash. For what we use blue color? A dash is used to find the main directions. What we use for finding the directions? Dash color is used for showing mountains. So here the color name. A globe can be useful when we want to study the earth as a dash. A dash is used to show large areas like continent or countries on a paper. Next question is, answer the following questions. 1. What are the intermediate directions? Second, what do physical maps show? Third, what do political maps show? Fourth, what is a sketch? Fifth, what is a plan? Sixth, differentiate between a small scale map and a large scale map. That we discussed the small scale and large scale. The same way you will write about the small scale map, large scale map. Next is write whether true or false. Political maps show natural features of the earth. A large scale map is used to show large areas like countries on a paper. Third, there are 4 intermediate directions. A globe is used to study the earth as whole. So these are the true false that you will attempt. Now it's turn for homework solution. So let's discuss about the homework solution of lecture 2. How are maps more helpful than a globe? Map. It is drawing of the earth. Globe. It is model of the earth. Map. A map can show a small area as well. As we have discussed that on map we can have information about the earth's surface and any of its part. Globe cannot give information about small areas. As a whole we can learn the globe. It can't give the information about small areas. It is easy to carry as we can fold it easily. It is difficult to carry. Map. A map can be seen completely in one time. And globe, we can see only half portion of the globe in one time. If we want to see another half, we will rotate it. So this answer you can write when anyone asks you differentiate between map and globe also. Next question. Distinguish between a map and a plan. Map. A map shows a large area like continent, countries, world, etc. In map, the large areas we show. In plan, small areas like room, garden, building. Second, a map is drawn on a small scale such as 1 centimeter is equal to 500 kilometer. A plan is drawn on large scale such as 1 centimeter is equal to 100 meter. Colors are mostly used as we have done that in physical maps different colors are used, but the planes are mostly simple. Only important features can be shown in brief on a map as we are taking small scale. So large areas we are showing. If large areas we are showing, so it will give us the brief information only. Details of small areas can be shown on a plan. So this is all about the difference between map and plan. Third question was, how do symbols help in reading map? Symbols help in reading map as symbols play an important role in guidance of any traveler. They also give us a lot of information in limited place. Even less educated people can understand the information given in map. And the fourth question was, what are the 3 components of a map? The 3 components of a map are direction, distance, and symbol. So this is all about the chapter. I hope you have understood the chapter now. Thank you and have a nice day.